Our next coach is the head coach of the VMI Cadets, Coach Sparky Woods. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
VMI suffered a setback at Richmond, falling to the 15th ranked Spiders 34-0. I know it was relatively closer than that for most of the game. But you get to open up at home this Saturday against Glenville State. If you can start off with the Richmond game and then give us your thoughts on Glenville State, we'll take any questions.
Well, I want to congratulate the University of Richmond. They really have a outstanding football team. I thought that going in. I think see any sophomores or freshmen hardly on the field. They were a developed, mature football team that's played a lot of football, been very successful. They were defending conference champions a year ago, and we knew going in that they were an outstanding football team that we would have to play very, very well in order to be competitive against them. They proved to be a good team, and we're ready to play. One thing that I thought is that when you play a great team like Richmond, they will expose your weaknesses or anything you're not efficient at. It certainly capitalizes and glares up there big. So we can see off of that film that we've got to do a better job technique-wise of pad level, just technique and tackling. I certainly had a great respect for their defensive line, and we had a difficult time blocking them. We couldn't run the ball, and they did not have to add to the box to keep us from running the ball. They could do it with just their defensive front, and then they were able to pressure our quarterback. I thought we did a decent job of assignments in terms of being on the right people. Therefore, we didn't have a sack in the game, but we did get pressured a lot. We were throwing, under duress, and I thought Eric did a good job of getting rid of the ball rather than taking sacks. But we can see where we've got to get our pads down, and we've got to move our feet, and certainly offensively, and then defensively, we've got to do the same. We've got to run like the dickens to the ball, and we've got to be good tacklers. When I say that, I have great respect for their receiving corps going in. I had great fear for their defensive line and their receivers. I knew that was a tough match for us on both sides. Their receivers are talented, big and fast, and can run with the ball afterwards. And it's going to be a hard for us to cover them, and then hard for us to tackle them after they caught the ball. And so it shows again that we've got to work hard on trying to come under control and get chest to chest on our tackles and hold on, and then the other guys got to run like the dickens to the ball to help us get them down. They're good. They have a good team. I think if their special teams comes on and their quarterback can continue to improve, they could be a problem for anybody they play. What we learned about our team is that those points I made about trying to make sure that we do the fundamental things better. So overall, I did think that we played hard the entire ball game. We went into the 3 minutes to go in the half. The score was 0-7, and that was a pretty good situation for us. We wanted to make it a fourth quarter game if we could, extend the game as long as we could, and with 3 minutes to go in the half, I thought if we could go in at halftime down by 7, that was a pretty good position for us to be in. We ended up giving up a missed tackle on a little hitch pass, and then we didn't have enough guys to get there in time to get the guy down. Edwards' kid's a great player. He caught the ball, made us break a tackle, and then ran, 70 yards for a touchdown. And then I don't think I helped our team. I tried to come back and score, or try to get us in position to score and be offensive right before the half. I kind of went into a hurry-up offense. We ended up turning the ball over, and therefore they ended up capitalizing on it with another touchdown. So it ended up being 21-0 at halftime. And obviously that was a different scenario than what 7-0 would have been. We had a big lightning delay for a long, long time, and sure they sit there thinking now we've got a 21-point lead, and with only 30 minutes to play. Certainly would have been better for us had it been 7-0 with only 30 minutes to play for them. However, they did a nice job and we didn't. We've got to work hard to improve our football team, and got a challenge coming at home this week with a team we know very little about in Glenville State. I do know that they have a lot of athletes on their team. We've been able to learn as much about them as we could. I know they've got a quarterback, Justin Fagan, is a great player. I remember him in high school. He signed with the University of Michigan and transferred from Michigan to there to play quarterback. He's a really 6'1", 200-plus pound, really good runner and passer, and they'll use him in both ways. They capitalize on the transfer situation so much. They've got, I understand, a really new junior college receiver that comes in to add to their already excellent speed at receiver. They play fast, have a no-huddle offense, so they'll try to, get Fagan involved in as many plays as they can. They've got good running backs and all. Defensively, they're a multiple team. They'll give you a 4-man front and a 3-man front, so you got to be sound on your responsibilities. I think just from the little information or the little film that we could gather on them, that looks to me again speed in the secondary. I know a couple of their players is Terry Reese, one of the safeties, is a really outstanding player. He's a good open field tackler, and he's a guy that can run the ball. I believe he's in his 6th year there. I think he started since he's been there, had a hardship year and maybe a red shirt year, but he's getting ready to play, for actually beginning of a 5th season for him. And good guy, it's a good player. Signed another junior college safety to go with 2 guys that can cover you corner, and then they've got some linebackers that are equally fast. So other than that, we know very little about them, and so we've got to be sure on our execution, and then we got to be able to adapt and adjust during the ball game as to what we see. I know that they did not play last week, so this will be their first ball game, and certainly they'll be excited about playing. We are as well, getting back here at home. Can't do much about their football team. What we can do is improve the play of our football team. So we're working hard at that. We did come out of the Richmond game fairly healthy. That's good news in terms of preparation for this ball game. Again, I thought that we made some strides in some areas. I thought our special teams, I thought we punted the ball fairly well, and we were involved in some kicks. We had penalties that hurt us in the kicking game. We were called twice on kickoff returns for holding penalties that put us back at the 10-yard line on offensively starting against an outstanding defense like Richmond's not a good place to be. So we got to eliminate those penalties, so we're not fighting that field position as bad against Glenville State. Got a lot of work to do. We got an eager bunch of guys that want to win and want to do well. We hoped we would play better against a great team like Richmond, but we realized that the positive that is that maybe Richmond did us a favor in the sense that they certainly did expose the need for us to be better at our technique and the things we've got to do in order to be able to block and tackle against skilled players like they had.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll take questions for VMI head coach Sparky Woods. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click Raise Hand. Questions for VMI head coach Sparky Woods. And Coach, first question for you is from Nick Pierce of the Liberty Flame Sports Network.
Hey, good morning, Coach. How are you?
Okay, Nick.
Just wanted to ask you a little bit about Richmond. Certainly they got a lot of skilled talent there. A couple of receivers had some really nice games for them. They had a back average 11 yards a carry, and then defensively they held you guys to 174 yards and 0 of 12 on 3rd down. That said, what was the most impressive part of their football team?
I was most impressed with their defensive front, and I thought that they were, big and strong and long, and we kind of predicate our ability on trying to, if we can get the box, if we can get numbers, that we should be able to run the ball with some able to. They were able to play on the perimeter with their other players and not only keep us from running the ball effectively, they were able to apply pressure to the passer without adding, pressure from linebacker blitzes or something. They could go ahead and cover, cause the quarterback to hold the ball and then rush and get after us there and affect our passing game that way. The second phase was the receivers. I thought they really did have three or so really big time receivers that could get open and catch it and it could run with it after they caught it. I thought they had good players all the way around. I thought that if there's a question mark about them, and their field goal kicker made every field goal that they attempted, and they did a good job of kicking, and a few times they punted, did well. However, I do know that that's probably somewhat of concern to them if to find out as they get into the season if that is going to be true to the task. And then I thought the quarterback was a really good player. He completed a bunch of balls against us. However, he did miss some that were there. So I think those were the two things maybe that I thought they were an excellent team, and ever since really impressive with their defensive line and their defensive and their receivers. But they had a junior senior football team, outstanding team.
You've seen Richmond quite a bit in your tenure at VMI. Is this as good a Richmond team as you've seen since you've been playing against them?
Yeah, it's as good a team as I've seen. I think they're really good. I think they've got a chance to set high goals for themselves, and they've got a good team, got a lot of good players, and of course they coach them well.
Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you, Nick. And that's all the questions we have for you, Coach, so we'll let you go. Thanks for joining us, and good luck Saturday against Glenville State.
Thank you.
Thank you.